Hi there, I'm Crafty Kazza H, or Karen for those who know me personally. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll be doing some paper crafting. More specifically, my group of friends and I created a Facebook group several years back, and we've just started doing a monthly challenge to get us creating. February 2023's challenge is by Verna Hall. She has a Facebook page called Verna's Handmade Crafts. Check it out for inspiration if you feel inclined. She's a very talented card maker, quilter, sewer, and all-around crafty lady. Anyway, the challenge that Verna has set for us this month is to make at least one collar fold card. That's C-O-L-L-A-R fold card. In case my accent gets in the way, I have an example of one that I made earlier to get a handle on things here. I'll show it to you now. Okay, so a collar fold card involves basically this sheet of designer series paper, referred to as DSP, is cut to the same size as the card front. We cut a slit in the middle here, and then you fold the sides over. This one is kind of difficult to see the collar parts, which are there and there, because the pattern on the other side of this paper is actually exactly the same as the front, so it's not very easy to see it. So I sort of blinged it up a bit to try and emphasize there was a difference there, and I chucked a happy birthday on there because, yeah, why not? Most of the cards I make are birthday cards anyway. Alright, so the inside's currently blank, but I was considering putting these in here just to dress it up a little. And some people, especially my mother, struggle to write things in cards, and she loves it when I fill up some of the space. So there is that. That will look pretty good on there, I think. So today I hope to make another 3 collar fold cards to supplement my dwindling supply of birthday cards in my stash. I hope you'll enjoy watching or crafting along with me, and if you do, please like and subscribe to see more, and click the bell to get notified when I post next. Let's get into it. Okay, so the papers I've chosen for the next 3 cards, I think they're all Stampin' Up papers. I went through my paper pads. I have a lot of paper pads, but I went through them all, and nearly all of them are one-sided, so that doesn't work for this sort of thing. So I've pulled out some old Stampin' Up papers that I've got. These are 12 by 12 sheets, so they don't fit on the screen, but they're double-sided, and I thought they look quite pretty when you fold the collars over. We've got this one, I've got this one, it has polka dots. I also have this piece of DSP, which is from a Halloween pack. This side's a lot greener than it's showing on screen, and has a black flower design on the back. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so I need 3 card bases. I've already got some pre-folded. I buy all pre-made card bases. I just prefer it that way. I get all of mine from Blue Edge Crafts in Australia. I thoroughly recommend them. They come to me like this. You can see there's a score there. That's the indented side of the score, and that's the raised side of the score. I prefer the raised side on the outside, but I see a lot of people on YouTube doing it the other way around. I don't think it matters. Trick I learned, which is really helpful, is to stick it in the corner of something with a corner. I can also do this on my Misty. Many of my cutting machines have this sort of thing, but yeah, it makes all the edges straight, which is great. I also like to figure out what I call the front of a card by opening it this way. It opens easier the other way, so I call that the front of the card. Alright, so I've got several card bases ready. This is my Caterpillar Pro, and I happen to know The card front size is 105 millimeters or 10.5 centimeters. And this way it is just shy of 15 centimeters. It's about 148 millimeters. So if we cut our card or DSP to that size, we should be good to go. So I cut that to 105. And then managed to get 2 card fronts and also this little strip. So I'll put one aside for another time, and what we want to do, find the center. So if it was 15 centimeters, then the center would be 7.5, which is there. So if I go to 7.5 and just go slightly less, that should be good. And I want this part of the design to be visible and this part to be folding over. So got it on this side. So again, just under 7.5. And that looks good enough. I'm not sure how deep that cut is. About 5 centimeters. Alrighty. On my scoring board here, I have at the 0 point, which is up there. I've just drawn a line down here to make this sort of thing easier. So what we want to do is put this point and the point of the card on that line. So there's the line here. I want to line that up at the corner of there and score. And do the same thing on this side. That goes like that. There's the dark bit. Alright. Then what we do, put these over. Hopefully they go to the corner part. And we'll just fold those over. Right. So when we stick that on our card front, we would have this. Now you can see easily more, well, you can see more easily this time that there is something happening there because it's a different pattern to the background. So you can leave this part white, or you can put a different designer series paper in there like I did on my other card, which I put this grid sort of pattern in the background, just give it some contrast. So I'm not too sure what we're going to do with this one. You could also, if you wanted to, glue this on just around the edges, and that could be a little pocket if you wanted to have like a little thing poking out of there. That might look nice. So what I'll do is I'll cut the rest of these so that we're back up to this spot. Okay, so if we go to 105. And 105. I find if you're making multiple cards with the same sort of thing, it's easy to do these sort of steps all at the same time. You can just have fun decorating, putting them together. It's about 148 millimeters. 148 millimeters. So whatever card front size you've got would be what you cut these down to. I'm really pleased that we've got this challenge going in my group because I just haven't been feeling the mojo to create cards a lot recently. And even though I really enjoy it, another 2 bits, little strip. Put these together and put them in at just under 7.5. I think it looks good. No real rhyme or reason. The depth of it's entirely up to you. That looks to be almost halfway through the card. Which way do I want to go? That way? Or that way? I think I'll do green on top. Because I've got flowers everywhere. Just be different. Okay, so we've got 3 different card fronts. Now, do I want to have any contrasting papers? If I do, it'd probably be good to pick colours out that are already on the background. I'll go get some papers and be back. Okay, I've come up with these. Pink to contrast against there, sort of picking up the darker pink in the flower. I've got, wasn't sold on this one, but it's growing on me. Got this green, picks up pretty much the green on all the flowery bit and the leaves. And then this one, given it's only really got greeny tones and black and white and grey tones, I thought I'd put this one with it to sort of brighten it up a little. So to do this next step, you look at our card front, you can see pretty much most of it's covered. So we don't need to cut an entire card front and waste that much extra cardstock. We can just go in here and cut a strip about this wide. So that's what I'll do next. I'm thinking I might want to emboss them just to give them a bit more life because they're a bit flat. So we'll figure this out. I want it to be about that deep. Doesn't matter if it goes further in, obviously. We just need it to at least go past this little point here. So that card ends here. So I'll cut that, and then the width will be 148. I'll cut all 3 of these together. Caterpillar can do that. Right, so we're going to our 3 bits that way. And if we put them on the card, it covers that spot perfectly. The card is there. We've got here. And these up. Cut line here. Alright, it's all lined up. Okay, so these should all fit like that. Awesome, we're getting there. Now, do I want to emboss them? I'll go pick out an embossing folder or more. Alright, picked out 3. Those. Alright, I've got polka dots here, so I don't think I'll use polka dots on that one. So I might use polka dots on this one. And I might use tree things or tree looking circles on that. And this corrugated thing on that one. Alright, so that's that one. This one, and that's for this one. Okay, line this up. Do I want full circles or bits of circles? I think I'll go for that. I got those just before I left Stampin' Up. I got a discount on them. Alright, so according to this sandwich, the embossing folders on the Stampin' Up machine. The embossing folder with paper gets surrounded by plates 3 and they go onto plate 1. Put it in the middle. And roll it through. Okay, so that's come out. Oh, that looks good. That's come out to look like this. This looks like that. Do this one. Now this one's a really thick, like a 3D thick embossing folder, so I might take out one of the 3 plates. Make sure it's straight. I might take off one of the 3 plates and see if it works. I'm not sure what the sandwich is for a really thick one. So it's just the base plate and a 3 plate. It's very loose there, but once the folder goes in, oh yeah, that'll work fine. That works great. Alright, those are our 3 little panels. Alrighty, so next step is gluing them down. That doesn't fit. What? Yeah, that's longer. Oh, okay. We just learnt something there. That's actually shrunk the size of the paper by a fair bit because of the depth. So I could either get a longer piece of paper, see if I like what it looks like. If it was on a card front, it would look like that. Oh, actually, it's almost big enough, but it's chopped off on the corners there. Do I like that? I do. Alright. We'll just get a longer piece and emboss that, and then cut it off once it's glued down. Then we know it'll fit. Dang it. This is paper too brittle. A little mixture of water here. I'll give that a try. Just lightly misted that. Fingers crossed this time doesn't break. Much better. Okay, so spraying that with water really helped it. Alrighty, so to the gluing stage. This that'll get glued onto there. And then we'll get this bit. Glue that. Yeah, that'll look nice. My glue of choice is usually double-sided tape. I like double-sided tape. And this one's really got a lot of depth to it, so I might also put some liquid adhesive on just in case it needs it. Where's the card end? You know what? I'm just going to do this. Then I'll know it's gonna stick. Actually, I might overhang the top bit a little and trim that as well. I want to glue this down. Now, again, as I said before, if you wanted to leave this as a pocket, glue down those three sides and then leave that opening there. You could flip things in there. I'm not going to do that. Right, I like to fold the tabs over like that so I can get the paper positioned where I want it before I actually stick it down. And I'm using the tweezers because I have no fingernails. Okay. So if I line this corner up, that, and this corner there, press it down. Little bits of it are stuck. And just pull the release tab, the release papers. The bones of our first card. And repeat the process with the other ones. Now what you can do, if you want to be tricky, make life easier, you could get one of these back up. That there, actually, I'm going to stick it to that side, so I'll stick that in the corner. And then just line that up with the corner and press. And you've got that part perfectly aligned. I should have done that with the other one. But oh well. Now my last video was a pencil haul that I bought. And I like the pencils so much I went looking to see if there was more, and I found another 2 sets that are bigger. So I've actually ordered them and they're on their way from Amazon. I also bought a case to put them in once they arrive, so I can put them all into colour order. Make life easier to use them. That might have to go. And that one, because they're interfering. Yeah, that works great. It works really well. So we got 3 cards on the go here. Now for this card I put some gems and got a whole bunch of these ones from an order online, but I don't think I want to put them on everything. And I think I should probably figure out the sentiment first, because for this one I was limited to something that had to fit within that width because this was there. But I think I like Happy Birthday because I'm always needing birthday cards. But I have got a lot of ephemera type items. Quite like that Happy Birthday. Might have to get another contrasting colour. I could put black on that. And probably white. Black, white, black. Okay, so I've decided to use black and white. And I quite like this Happy Birthday and the size of it and where it is. So I'm going to use that as well and white emboss it. The stamp is from this Cat's Little Birdie is the company, and it's this one here. I need 2 black ones and a white one. So the punch I'm going to use is a Stampin' Up! 1 1/4 inch punch. So that's not very big. Probably be multiple stamping to make sure I get a good impression. So I'll use my Misty for that. Just get some black embossing powder. Alright, well, I couldn't find my black embossing powder, so I got black ink and clear embossing powder. Same difference. If you're starting crafting, you're only new to crafting and you don't have a lot of supplies, my tip, rather than buying loads of embossing powder colours you're never ever going to use more than a few times, like I have, just use your ink colours and clear embossing powder. Works great. Whenever you do embossing, you need to use an anti-static powder on your surface so that it gets rid of all the oils on there. That way when you ink up the stamp, only the stamped image will have ink on it, and that's where the embossing powder will stick. Just using my little Versamark ink cube. Been going for years. Just re-ink it every now and then. Just hold it down a bit so that the ink gets onto the paper. Now I can see that, but I'm going to double stamp just to be sure. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, you can see it there. Now, embossing ink stays wet for a fair while, so don't have to be in a big hurry. Now, I couldn't find my embossing buddy. That's what this thing's called. One day, and I'd seen a YouTube video where they just used part of a sock and put baby powder in it, and that did actually work because I did it, and I still have that sock with that baby powder. I know exactly where it is if I lose my embossing buddy again. Hoping this ink will be wet enough to emboss. I'm like everybody else, I get sucked in by YouTube and all the things that people are using. So let's do this one first because I don't know how long ink will stay wet. A little catch paper and my clear embossing powder. It doesn't look like it went on there at all. Yeah, that's completely dry. So what I'm going to do is put it back in and put Versamark on it. Should be in the same spot. I didn't embossing powder it again, so hopefully it'll be okay. We'll find out. It's only paper and ink and magic. I think embossing is magic. That's what's got me sucked into card making. It's magic watching it melt. Okay. I'll try again. Put it out of the way. Let's do that. Yep, that's done it, and it's clear, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose, if it goes elsewhere. But that's, see how it's gone cloudy? That means it's covered in the powder. Several packets in this container of this embossing powder. Oh, that's worked great. Love this embossing powder. Alright, can't really see too many speckles about, but I will give it a little brush off. Alright, so this is called an embossing heat tool. It's a heat gun. It's best if you turn it on a bit before you start embossing things, so I'll do that. I'll probably turn the volume down or mute it. So they've worked out pretty well. Let them cool down for a little bit. And get the hole punch out. Just wipe it off. The extra powder off. Punch it out so it's centered. I think I actually really like how the clear embossing looks on there. I need some kind of embellishment, and alright, so first up we'll stick those down. Now I am what is called an over adheser. I love me some dimensionals and glue, any kind of glue, lots of glue. The one would probably be enough for this, but I'm putting 3 on because I like things to be solid and not have little dips in them. I'm also going to pop those up. I'll fold these back. That's what I meant by the dips. I think Stampin' Up! Dimensionals are my favourite dimensional. It looks so different in the different colorways. Alright, now I've just got to figure out what I'm going to do for other embellishments. I'll be back with you when I've figured that out. Alright. I haven't used sequins in ages, so I thought I'd bring out my stash. This is part of my stash. So there's a little bit of a hoarder problem going on here, but I'll use it all one day. Now, as you can see, when I'm gluing these, the sequins have a hole in them, at least these ones do. And the glue comes out of the holes. So what I like to do, once they're dry, because the glue out of the holes is sticky, is I like to dust it with the embossing body. That gets rid of the stick. Alright, let that dry. Next. This is where we're at the moment. I'll grab a glue dot. These are quite large. That one's there. That's the three I've made tonight, and the one I made earlier. I will probably do similar insidey bits for the other three as to this, because I just think it dresses the card up nicely. I don't think I'll stamp any sentiments in the middle. I'll leave that open for, I can always stamp if I need to. Okay, so I've decided to do inserts on the insides of some of these other cards. The reason for that is just to show you how I like to do it. When you open the card, I like it when you open the insert and it's opening for you. It's not stuck, closed position. So I can show you how to do that. I've gone and cut down a piece of copy paper that is a little bit smaller than the inside of the card. What I'm going to do is ink the edges of it so it's easy to see with a coordinating colour. So if the card's pink, I'll use Victorian Velvet Distress ink. Now, I can't find all my lath mats and other things that I can ink on, so I'm just going to use a carrier sheet for my hot foiling. I'll just wipe the ink off it later. Just need a slick surface. So this is a brand new unused blending brush from Tailored Expressions. We'll see how we go. I just would like a soft colour all around just to help define it. So it's definitely going to stand out from the card base now. Let's put it on there. Now it's much easier to see how much smaller than the card base it is. So what we want to do here, ideally, let's place it where we want it. And you could score in the middle, but it's not guaranteed to be exactly in the right spot. And then close. On this occasion, yeah, it didn't quite close right down the center, but when it sits in the card, it should sit in the right spot. Hopefully. Anyway, so what we're going to do now to make sure it opens when the card opens is, rather than sticking that down to the base, you stick the front down to the front of the card on the inside. And probably the easiest way to do that is to stick it on the actual card. Alright, so you want it to look about there. Yeah, that folds in the wrong spot. Just going to cut the edge off. We still have the inked edges. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so butt it up against the edge of there, centered top to bottom, and close the card. Press there where the adhesive is. Now when you open your card, it opens up like that. If you stick the bottom bit down, it'll open up closed, and then you have to open that up as a second step. So you can stick more decorative pieces on there if you wished. But yeah, it looks quite pretty with just the inked edges. Plenty of room in there to write your sentiment. Yeah, I just wanted to show you another option for the inside. So I hope you enjoyed watching and crafting along with me, and if you did, please like and subscribe to see more, and click the bell to get notified when I post next.